Hello and welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Sonny.
Today I'll be showing you how to prepare fennel, one of my favorite vegetables ever.
So this is yet another installation into our Back to Basics series. Back to Basic is going to cover things like simple knife cutting techniques, cutting up fruit, cutting up vegetables, butchering meat, butchering fish, helping you find trustworthy kitchen gear and equipment, as well as just basic cooking fundamentals. If you're brand new to cooking, staying on the Back to Basics for a little while to learn some things could be a good idea for you. I understand that as you're finding these Back to Basic videos on YouTube, you may just be getting started with cooking, and you may not even have something like a trustworthy knife yet. I've taken the liberty to put 4 knives at different price points in the description box below this video. You'll have to click that Show More button to reveal those links. So I just want to go over the price point of these knives. I think there's one in there for everybody, and they're all brands that I know and trust. So all those knives down there, they're all 8-inch chef's knives. So I just wanted to get that across first. That's just the best size, I think, for an all-around, all-purpose knife. The first is a Mercer, coming in at $14.99, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. The reviews on that thing are incredible. I've never had one, but people are saying amazing things about that knife, and if you're on a real tight budget, that would definitely be the knife for you. The second one is J.A. Henkel's, coming in at $43.99. That's a very good mid to low range one. This is a knife that I've gifted to a lot of people. It's really light, stays very sharp. I would highly recommend that knife, especially if you like a lighter knife. The third knife is a Shun, coming in at $79.95. So we're getting into that sort of mid-range with the knife now. Shun is a trusted brand. That knife has a little bit more of a unique shape, so I would definitely read through some of the reviews to see if it's the right one for you. And finally, one of my favorite knife brands ever, Mac, coming in at $144.95. This is a little more expensive, but if you're looking for something to last you what would be probably a lifetime, then the Mac would be for you. These knives are just so reliable, and for the price point, you really can't beat it. So I think there's a knife down there for everybody. We've got those 4 price points. The first thing you're gonna need when you're getting into culinary is a good chef's knife, so I would start there. And I'll be going over much more as far as finding you some good equipment and knives.
So, this is the bulb of the fennel, the actual meat, the good stuff. This is what we want to get at. We have a core in there we're going to take out a little bit later, I'll show you. But the first thing we want to do is we want to remove these tops. They may look nice, but it's like eating a piece of wood. So, you can just, with a knife, just take them off like that. Trim it up a little, and there you have the bulb. Do not throw these away. Now I want to show you what we're after here. These are fennel, I think they're called throngs. I don't know if that's correct, but these, look at this. This is one of my favorite garnishes ever. These little tops, and they taste like licorice-y. They're so good. It would be such a shame to get rid of this. So what we're gonna do is just start to pick that. And what you're after here is these baby ones. Like, let me show you an example of some old ones. Up here we have sort of older ones. They're bigger, they're darker green. Now in here, on these new shoots that were coming out, we have these little, these are the most wonderful garnishes. So you just wanna pick these little throngs off. You know, it sort of has a really similar look to dill. Save those, because those are just make a great garnish for so many different dishes, especially fish-related things. One other thing to note before we continue is I love to braise fennel, meaning cook it under liquid at a low temperature for a long period of time with other aromatic to permeate it and season it. What that does is it softens the fennel, and then what I would do is make slices like this and then fry it in a pan. That's one wonderful way to prepare it, but let's get into slicing. So what I like to do is take it in half. And so, can you see there we've exposed this root? And we want to get rid of that. So that's what we're gonna do now. This is another little petty knife I got on Amazon. I can drop it down there in the links. I really love it. And so we're gonna make like a V shape right where that root is. So now we've removed the core. What's great is this knife has a little flex. I don't know if you can see that, but it means I can turn corners with it. So I've made cuts that aren't exactly straight. It's great for things like this. The second one, You know, so if you were gonna roast this in the oven, which is one of my favorite ways to prepare it as well, you'd wanna take these in half. You know, and I gotta say, I made a little mistake here. I meant to leave a little more of that root in so these would hold together, but that's all right. If they break apart in the oven a little bit, it's okay. So what you want is these little wedges like this. Another way I love to eat fennel is raw. And so when you eat it raw, you wanna shave it really thin. I'm gonna demonstrate with my chef's knife how I would do this. Something you just, you know, you have to take your time. You want it to be really paper thin. So you end up with these nice pieces which would make a great raw salad. In fact, I have one on my channel. I'm gonna put a link up to that. It's a fennel and orange salad that I love. One of the most foolproof ways you could ever do it is with a mandolin. This is gonna get you the thinnest shave you could possibly ask for. I'll drop a link to this down below along with the knives. This is the exact one that I use. So we're gonna adjust our thinness here. Seems right. And just begin to shave. And so also you end up with some very nice thin slices. That's a very fast and easy way to do it. I highly recommend mandolins if you're getting serious about cooking. First we talked about braising the fennel. Then if we're talking about roasting in these quartered wedges, this is a hand cut for a salad, for a raw preparation. That's done with the mandolin. And don't forget that we've saved these fennel throngs for garnish because these things are incredible. Do not waste those. One more thing to note here is if you want your fennel to curl up, you could leave it in ice water for about half an hour and it would start to bend and curl. This would give your salad a very nice build, meaning you could build it taller. And that concludes how to prepare fennel.
Well, that concludes today's episode of Back to Basics, where we focus on how to cut fennel. I hope you learned something today about fennel, and I hope you're ready to tackle a fennel of your own. And as always, do not forget to like and subscribe. We have new videos every week, and they're always great. And I will see you next time.